Hi, I'm Holly and welcome back to my channel, Holly Go Read. Alrighty, today we are doing my wrap up for Tistheseasonathon, and I'm going to be talking fast because my camera battery is about to die. So it should be super sweet and quick. I read 3 books for the readathon. I read the group book In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, The Christmas Proposal by Miley Main, and The Bride Test by Helen Huang. You can check out my wrap up in the cards for the challenges that those satisfied. Anywho, so let's start off with the book that I read first, In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. I was actually surprised by this one. I have had kind of a downstream with Christina Lauren as a writing duo. I feel like they've really taken a turn with their writing style. However, this one really got me. So, alright, this is going to be a pretty spoilery wrap up, so if you're not interested, this probably isn't the video for you because I'm just going to kind of talk freely. So in a Holidays, we have the heroine, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me because she had so many nicknames. It was like Noodle and Maisie and May and Man. I don't know, there was a lot of M's, so I think Malin might have been her name. And then we have Andrew, also Mandrew. I mean, lots and lots of nicknames. But yeah, it was interesting. So basically, our heroine is reliving her Christmas vacation over and over again. So the first time she kissed her friend Theo, who is Andrew's little brother, and she's been in love with Andrew since she was like a little kid. And basically the kiss with Theo just did not go well. It was a bad kiss, and then he starts ignoring her afterwards. So like, it's kind of a dick move, bro. But anyway, so basically she gets into a car accident as she's leaving her Christmas vacation the first time. And she's basically zapped back to being on the plane going to her Christmas vacation. And there's a couple of hiccups and she restarts a couple of times, but essentially she figures out that if she just does what she wants, she won't keep resetting. And what she wants is Andrew. I feel like the people in her life just kind of accepted that she was time traveling a little easily. But I mean, hey, sure. Maybe y'all have that kind of relationship. But it was cute. I was surprised. I really liked it because, like I said, I've not really enjoyed the last few Christina Lauren books that I've read. So it was definitely a pleasant surprise to have liked this one as much as I did. I gave it a 4 out of 5 star rating, and then it was also a 3 on my spicy scale. So it does mean unpaid sexy times, but I mean, it's more like chick lit sexy times. So like it happens, but it's not like anything out of the norm, if you catch my drift. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cute. I really feel like by having such a long history together before the book even begins, the relationships felt a lot more fleshed out and in no way insta-lovey, which has been my complaint with a lot of their previous books. So yeah, I would definitely give In a Holidays a thumbs up. Would recommend it if you're in the mood for a, funny, romantic comedy that is Christmas themed. And then next up, I read The Christmas Proposal by Miley Main. I don't recommend this one. It was on my Kindle Unlimited, and oh boy, did this one let me down in all ways. I rated it a 2.5 star, and although it was a 4 on my spice scale because we have multiple, or was it a 4 or 3? I don't know, but it was very blah 4 if it was a 4, and it wasn't a very good 3 either, honestly. The sexy times were not it. They weren't it, honestly. Yeah, I was not enjoying the sexy times. So we have Grayson and Serenity. Serenity confessed to Grayson when she was 11 and he was 17 that she was in love with him. He very rightfully turned her down. There's this point where you know, they obviously get together. That's the point of the book. And her mom has the stupidest reaction I've ever seen. Like, oh, I don't see why it's a problem now. You know, you're both adults. It would have been weird back then. Weird? For an 11 and a 17-year-old to be together? No, not weird. Illegal? Disgusting? Immoral? Abso-freaking-lutely. I was just like floored by that line. Like, it's like, what the hell? What the hell? Honestly, there were a lot of spelling mistakes. They really needed to have proofread that Kindle copy a lot closer. I wasn't enjoying it, and I started skimming, and I was still picking up proofreading errors, which you really just don't want to see. That's just like, I feel like that gives the books on Kindle Unlimited a bad name, because I feel like there is this kind of connotation of these are lower value romance books, and that's not necessarily the case. I've read a lot of good ones, but when you put out poor copy, you're devaluing it, so just don't. It really pissed me off. But anyway, Grayson decides within like 5 minutes of seeing Serenity again that he just wants to mess around with her. Like, that's not gonna screw up your relationship with your best friend. Messing around with his little sister. Like, that was incredibly naive. Like, that was dumb. I didn't like it at all. Serenity was incredibly immature. Grayson calls her childish at one point, and like, heck yes, she was being childish. Like, I was with the whole, like, can I sleep in your bed thing? Honestly, that just was like, did I accidentally walk into a DDLG, like, I'm not kink shaming, but is that what I walked into? And no, she was just being a child. Yeah, it was very immature. The twist at the end, so in the blurb you know that she gets pregnant. The whole twist with it being her ex-boyfriend's and not his was just dumb, frankly. It created drama where there didn't need to be, and it was boring. Like, it was just not entertaining in the least. So I'm glad it was my shortest book. It was like 180 pages or something. It wasn't good. I don't recommend it. And then the last book I'm gonna gush about for a minute because it was so good. The Bride Test by Helen Huang. So, about a year ago, actually, I had picked up the audiobook for it, and I never made it past the prologue, and I'm so mad at myself that I never made it past the prologue, because this book was so freaking good. And I know, I mean, it was like a Book of the Year finalist, or it was the Goodreads, yeah, Books of the Year finalist last year. It was so good, and I really wish that I had, you know, made myself sit down and finish it, because, oh my gosh, it was literally, for me, laugh out loud funny. I was cracking up the whole time. My husband thought I was deranged. My dog was like, Mom, what are you doing? It was so funny. And as somebody who has somebody who is on the spectrum in their life, you know, there were little things that I was like, yes. And that comes from the author herself being on the autism spectrum disorder spectrum. She was formerly diagnosed with what was formerly known as Asperger's. Now it's just part of the autism spectrum. And she does an excellent job of writing really very realistic autistic characters, which I very much appreciate, because it really bothers me when there is problematic or not accurate portrayals of what autism is in media, because, you know, my brother-in-law is autistic and I love him and he's a great guy, and, you know, I don't want to see that denigrated. I don't want to see bad portrayals. I would say I have no complaints about this book. Honestly, it was a super fun time the whole way through. Being in Kai's head was hilarious. Like, his rules for things and the way he processed was just beautiful and funny. So funny. And then Esme was so hardworking, but she also had this really like sassy side that you just really wanted to root for her. The side characters were all really cool. The mom, his brother Quan, all really just a wonderful cast of side characters that added to the richness of the book. And then of course the cameo from the Kiss Quotient characters, Michael and Stella, they get married. So that was really sweet to see. Yeah, I'm just honestly gushing about it because I really enjoyed it. I don't really have any good critiques or criticisms because I just enjoyed it the whole way through. It was a 5-star read for me, and anyone who has been on my channel or has watched my videos knows I'm very stingy with 5 stars. And I know that's annoying to some people, but I'm very stingy with them, and this was a 5-star read for me. It was also a 4 on the spice scale. The spice was good. You were not wondering where the spice is because it was spicy, and I mean, but in a realistic way, because like, again, this is spoilers, but Kai's never had sex with a woman, and he just does his thing and doesn't realize, oh, there's some more I've got to do to take care of her. And then the like, I want to make it right was like, This was fun. This was good. It was, I stumbled upon Chandler Ainsley's review, and it was just like, it made me wet upstairs and downstairs, if you know what I mean. And it was just like, I was cackling. I was straight cackling. But no, it was so good. And if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was not let down at all by The Bride Test by Helen Huang. And then for the non-reading challenge, I watched a holiday movie. I don't know if everyone would consider this a holiday movie, but I do because it's Christmas and New Year's and whatever. It's While You Were Sleeping. So I freaking adore that movie. I watch it almost every holiday season. I'll probably end up watching it again when my mother and brother-in-law, my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law are here for Christmas. Provided that happens. COVID sucks, y'all. But yeah, so that is my really fast-paced wrap-up because, again, my camera is dying. I really enjoyed this readathon. If you participated, let me know how your readathon went. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. That's all I have.